然后我们下午第一场的话，就是邀请到 Appium 的作者来给我们分享一下他对于 Appium 接下来的一些发展情况，以及对 UI 测试他的一些见解。然后呢，他也是15年的时候已经来过一次了，上次来的时候也是为大家弹吉他演奏了一曲。今天呢，他也会在现场给大家进行一下演奏。当然，刚刚大家都有看到他有展示一些很奇特的内容啊，等一下大家可以再次感受一下，希望大家提起一下精神。然后我们现在邀请 Jonathan。Let's welcome Jonathan.
Hello, everybody. I'm very excited to be here in Beijing. I was here 3 years ago for the very first Mobile Testing Summit in China, and it has grown very much since that first conference. So it's really cool to see all of you here, and I'm very grateful to the organizers and the Tester Home community for inviting me to come and share a little bit about Appium with you all. Before we begin, I wanted to just make 2 notes. First of all, can we all give a round of applause to the translators, please? They've been doing a great job, and otherwise I would not have understood anything that was being said this morning. Secondly, thank you for the award for the open source project at Appium. I'm very honored to see that it was also considered a very important open source project this year. Okay, so just a little bit about myself. I now work for a consulting company, which I started, called Cloud Gray. And it's an Appium-focused consulting firm. So I help my clients with Appium training or making sure that they're using best practices. Anything relating to Appium or mobile testing, I like to work with people about. As you know, the reason I'm here, I also do a lot of work on Appium. Something else that I've been working on for the first part of this year, and it will hopefully continue for a long time, is a weekly newsletter called Appium Pro, where every week there's a new tutorial or tip or something about Appium that's interesting. Unfortunately, since I write the newsletter, it's just in English, but I'm talking to some of the Tester Home community leaders to figure out if there's a way to get some of these into Chinese at some point as well. So again, before we really get started, I wanted to also give recognition and thanks to all of the people in the Chinese mobile testing community who have contributed to Appium in the past, whether it's been code contributions or documentation contributions. You've probably seen that Appium has an entire translation of its documentation in Chinese, and that's something that not a lot of open source projects have, and it speaks to the dedication of the community here to Appium. So I just want to ask you to give another round of applause to yourselves for contributing. Okay, so this talk is all about the first 5 years of Appium and the next 5 years. Because earlier this year we had Appium's 5-year birthday, and we really brought it onto the scene. So let's look back and ask what made Appium successful, what are some of the interesting parts of the story, and just a look at some of our paths as a project. So this is a picture of Selenium Conference 2012 in London, and this is me. I'm very jet-lagged and tired and confused because this is my first real encounter with the automated testing community, and I'm just trying to figure everything out. I have a picture here of my artistic skills, just in case you were wondering. This conference was special because it is where a gentleman named Dan introduced the idea that became Appium. He did a lightning talk, a very short 5-minute presentation of an automation of iOS application using no graphical tools, just the command line. And this was pretty remarkable at the time. So that eventually became Appium. A couple other milestones. In early 2014, we released Appium 1.0. And probably many of you were already involved with Appium at that time. And you can see that I've had the shirt that I'm wearing for at least 4 years, because it's the same one as in the photo. So we had a really fun party to release Appium 1.0. I wrote a little mobile application, which you can see in the picture. And it was a mobile application designed to build and deploy Appium, publish a new version. So I wrote an Appium script to automate Appium publishing itself. And that was how Appium 1.0 was released, and that was pretty fun. There were a couple people who were very important in the community at the time. The gentleman on the left is Dan, who had the original idea that became Appium. And like I said, back in 2015, we had a real milestone in the life of our community when there was a big conference in China that talked a lot about Appium. And this was the most that anybody had done with Appium outside of the things that I was doing in the United States. So I was blown away by how this community was adopting Appium. This picture was actually up on the video rotation earlier, but you recognize some of these people, probably. And we had a little bit of fun in 2015, and as you can tell by the microphone that's on stage and the little sneak preview that we got, we'll have some musical entertainment in a little bit as part of this talk, too. Earlier this year, in 2018, we had another big milestone for the Appium project, which is our very first Appium conference. So we had a conference all about Appium, purely focused on Appium in London, and this was a really big deal. It was nowhere near as big as this conference that we're having right now, but it was very special for the Appium project. So, looking back at our first 5 years, what are some of the crucial milestones, either technologically or from our community, that helped us get to where we are today? Well, we made a decision early on to have Appium implement the WebDriver protocol, the same one that Selenium uses, the same one that so many test engineers were already familiar with. And that was to prove a very good foundational decision for helping get our project into lots of places and get it adopted by a lot of people. Secondly, we decided to implement Appium, at least the core engine of Appium, in a little language called JavaScript. Who writes JavaScript? Nobody writes JavaScript? Okay, it's okay. Nobody likes to write JavaScript, probably. But JavaScript is a very interesting language because it's, in a way, universal. Many people are familiar enough with JavaScript to jump in and do a little bit of hacking with it. And we thought it would be a very approachable language for building a community around Appium, because we really wanted a lot of community involvement, and we didn't want you to have to know Java or to have to know C++ or something in order to contribute, because those languages have a much higher barrier to entry. One thing that we did early on is we went beyond iOS automation. So most automation technologies 5 years ago were focused on either iOS or Android, but not both. The only real exception was Calabash at the time. And so we really wanted Appium to be cross-platform or multi-platform. And so early on, we took the same API and applied it to some of the Android automation technologies that existed. We started with the UI Automator one series from Google. We also really believed in the power of community and of getting the word out. So we went to lots of conferences and talked about Appium and really helped people to see the benefits of Appium by coming to events like this. And that really helped get it into people's minds as something that they could play with. One milestone that I think is probably really important for this community here is what I mentioned earlier. I forget when it was. It must have been 2014 or maybe even earlier, that a couple of people from the Tester Home Group rewrote all of the Appium documentation in Chinese, making Appium setup instructions and tutorials available to people that didn't read English, which is an awful lot of people in this world. Another big milestone happened a few years ago when we took Appium's code and essentially threw it all away and started again from scratch. We had learned a lot in the process of developing Appium. We figured out where our technical bottlenecks were. We figured out where our bad architectural decisions were and where they had led us. And we had the opportunity to start over with a lot more knowledge and a lot more wisdom that we gained from trying to solve the problems that Appium is designed to solve. So we re-architected Appium and made it very easy to build a new driver for Appium. And a driver is something that gives you the ability to automate a new platform or to use a new underlying automation technology. So that paved the way for the whole explosion of drivers that we have today. When Appium first came on the scene, we were all pretty much working for a company called Sauce Labs. And because of that, Sauce Labs owned the copyright to Appium. But we felt it was important for Appium to be given to everybody and not just owned by one company that competes with many other companies that are invested in Appium. So we decided to give Appium to a nonprofit foundation called the JS Foundation so that it could hold the copyright and so that lots of different companies could participate in helping to maintain Appium for the benefit of the community without being afraid of any kind of competitive advantage from just one company. And we also saw that Appium grew in popularity enough so that many cloud testing services wanted to support Appium. So Sauce Labs was the first, but now there's a whole lot more, from Amazon to Headspin to Bitbar and a host of other cloud testing services. So this really meant that Appium could be used in very high performance, continuous integration type environments where you need to run on lots of devices or lots of kinds of devices. Okay, so that's the first 5 years. What is our vision for moving forward as a product? Well, if you've heard me talk about Appium recently, you know that we like to use this term star driver. And star driver comes from this comment that Jason Huggins made one time, where star means a wild card. It can mean anything. And our vision for Appium is really that it's not just about mobile automation, although that's the main use case right now, but that it expands to be about automating anything, any kind of application. It's called Appium because we want it to be automation for apps, not just websites and not just mobile applications. So we want desktop application automation, IoT automation, VR automation. We want you to be able to automate any of these platforms using one protocol. So the Appium of the future is basically this protocol that enables automation of any kind of application. And since we started with the WebDriver protocol, we want to continue in that vein, but simply add to it and extend it for automation behaviors that are unnecessary for websites, but which are general enough to encompass any kind of application. We want to maintain a set of JavaScript code, classes, and libraries that enable any of us to easily write a driver that could plug into Appium and that anyone in the Appium community could pull into their system and now have the ability to automate a new platform. And we do want Appium to contain a number of drivers by default, or to give you access to a number of standard drivers for iOS and for Android and for the other popular platforms. And each driver should be written on whatever the best automation technology is. So for the most part, people agree that the best Android automation technology out there is Espresso. It's the fastest and most reliable automation technology. And so we want to have an Espresso driver for Appium. We want to have an Earl Grey driver for Appium, if that's the best-in-class iOS app automation technology. And so on for all the different platforms. What this means is that at the end of the day, you, as Appium users, have access to one stable API that we can swap different automation technologies underneath. So you can have your Appium test script that runs on, UI Automator 2 today and Espresso tomorrow, but it's the Appium community which has done the hard work of translating each of those different technologies to the WebDriver protocol. So you as a test author don't have to throw away your entire test suite just to migrate to whatever the best technology of today is. And we can't forget the community. There's always a lot of knowledge stored in a community of practitioners. There is a lot of knowledge in this room about how to effectively automate mobile apps. And that's why conferences like these are so awesome, because you can all sit together over lunch and share your techniques and strategies. And so there needs to be a big community of people who are figuring these things out and sharing them back with the project or with other members of the community, so that we can all grow and we can all improve in our effectiveness at automation. So this is what Appium looks like today. The details are not important. What I want is to show you how we are beginning to implement our vision. So each column is a different driver. So this is basically Appium's architecture right now, where you have a main orchestrating server process called Appium, which can speak to a number of different drivers. And each of these different drivers automates a certain platform using a certain automation technology. For example, our XCUI test driver ultimately uses Apple's XCUI test libraries to automate an iOS device. So today there's, 8 drivers, and we hope that in the future there will be even more. But even today, you can automate iOS applications, Android applications, Windows desktop applications, Mac desktop applications, and even TV applications across a number of platforms. So that's our vision. And now I want to share what I hope to see concretely in the next 5 years. Will this actually happen? I don't know. But this is my wish list. I'd love to see a mobile vendor like Apple or Google, including Appium, or some WebDriver-based automation technology as a first-class framework. I'd love to see Apple or Google realize that continually creating new APIs for automation doesn't make sense. We should standardize, and in my opinion, the official standard of WebDriver protocol is a great place to start. I'd love to see more maintainers join the core Appium team to help with the expansion of our drivers. Each one of the drivers takes work, and some of them will disappear over the years as they become irrelevant, but there will always be a need for people to be focused on one particular driver. I'm not focused on one particular driver. I'm focused on Appium as a whole, which means that I can't know every detail about our XCUI test implementation. But somebody has to. And so we would love for there to be more maintainers from a variety of companies representing a variety of interests. I'd love to see Appium referred to as having best-in-class stability and performance. And the way that we get there is by creating drivers for the right technologies and making sure that we're using them appropriately. I'd love to see the official WebDriver protocol be extended to acknowledge the reality that apps have grown beyond the web, and we need to automate all kinds of apps. I'd love to see Appium 2.0 come out. The idea behind Appium 2.0 is that it involves a very flexible driver management system where when you download Appium, it doesn't come with all 8 drivers or all 20 drivers because you don't need them all. So it'll have a way to just pick and choose the drivers that you care about so that your system can be set up for just what you need to use Appium. I'd love to see standardization in the underlying mobile automation technologies. So again, I'd love to see us coming together around a single protocol rather than continuing to put all of these new ideas of how automation should work out there. I think it will all work better for everyone if we can collaborate. This is difficult for a lot of reasons, but it's on my wish list. And finally, especially relevant for this conference, I'd love to see some more collaboration between the English-speaking community and the Chinese-speaking community, because I know that you're all doing some very interesting stuff with Appium, or by extending Appium, or coming up with new techniques that we don't benefit from. And likewise, the same is true in reverse. So I would love if there are people who can become a bridge between our communities that help reduce the lag caused by a lack of communication. But how do we get there? Well, we need to make some strides towards next generation automation. Put a stake in the ground when it comes to virtual reality and IoT. But these need to come from concrete need. It can't be me just thinking, oh, well, what should IoT automation look like? It needs to be somebody who's developing an IoT app or an IoT system. It needs to arise out of a concrete need. I would love to get on the radar of some of the bigger vendors like Apple or Google for them to see that there's a gigantic community around Appium, and for them to think it's important enough to start working with us in some kind of capacity. I think we have a big enough community that we can really make a lot of noise to the vendors and get them to respond to us. Of course, more contributors and maintainers, and like I said, more of a bridge between the English and Chinese-speaking contributors. And I'm running out of time because I'm trying not to speak too fast. So I'll just put up some of the features that have come recently in Appium and that we want to implement soon. There's a bunch of stuff around image recognition, very similar to what we heard about this morning. Espresso driver, improvements to Appium desktop, more WebDriver compatibility stuff, and of course, Google and Apple are going to keep releasing new mobile operating system versions, so we have to support those. Okay, so I'm going to stop talking right now and let's have a little fun. So what I'm going to do, I actually had this as a live demo, but because of technical difficulties, I can't run it. But I have a video of it, and so I wrote a song. It's an interesting song. And I taught it to Appium to play some of the instruments for the song. So Appium is going to play these instruments, and that's what you'll see on the video. And then I'm going to play and sing along because that's what I like to do. So let's go ahead and hold the video whenever you want. Okay, so this is a couple Appium servers and so on, and we are starting up some different mobile music apps, and we're going to automate them with Appium, and then the lyrics are going to show up here in the web browser. I'll make sure this is working. Yeah,
things I've heard, those that said better soon, scanning my own brain, going digital. Now that man's dead and gone, here I am, still humming along, but I can't shake the feeling that something's wrong. The feeling was the first to go. Never thought I'd stoop so low. Now I want my body back. Its limits seem
the not so perfect person that I was. I am the perfect simulation of that not so perfect person that I was. So won't you get me out of here? Memories that I've saved of sun and trees. One thing that I cannot do is feel them like they're mine. This feeling was the first to go. Never thought I'd stoop so low. Now I want my body back. Its limits seem a welcome fact. And hails a virtual deity. Still no good at being me. I am close to the machine god of everything I see. But in my new reality, I talk with everybody. I don't just want to be a brain, I want to be a human being. But my mind's stuck with silicon, and I'm stuck inside my mind. I am the perfect simulation of the not so perfect person that I was. Yeah, I am the perfect simulation of the not so perfect person that I was. So won't you get me out of, won't you get me out of here? Da 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 Thank you. That was a lot of fun. So, I had a bit of a talk to talk about how I did all this, but I'm out of time. So, we can talk about it later, but this is basically the architecture of how that demo was created. I basically created a form of musical notation and text, put it together as a song, put all the instruments together as various Appium servers, and that's how I did it. And I made a studio version of the song, so if you like the song and just want to listen to it, not played by Appium, but played by real instruments, then you can go to this URL and download the song. So, thank you very much.